You are standing on the edge of something great. You can feel it in your bones. The idea is perfect. The plan is flawless. The excitement is rising in your chest like a tide that cannot be held back. It's 11 p.m. and you're pacing around your room, your mind racing with the future you are about to build. You want to celebrate. You want to tell someone. You pick up your phone. You text your best friend. You call your partner. You tell your family at dinner the next night. You lay it all out. The business you are starting, the body you are going to build, the country you are going to move to. You see them nod. You hear them say, "Wow, that's amazing." You feel a rush of dopamine, a warm glow of validation. You feel like you have already achieved it. And that is the exact moment you lost. That is the moment you killed your dream. Most people believe that support is necessary for success. We are taught from kindergarten that we should share our hopes and dreams, that teamwork makes the dream work, and that hiding things is dishonest. But I'm here to tell you that in the brutal, competitive, and often dark reality of human psychology, silence is not just a preference, it is a survival mechanism. When you opened your mouth, you didn't just share information, you handed over your power. You triggered a series of psychological and biological events that have now stacked the odds against you. You think you're just talking, but you're actually engaging in a dangerous chemical warfare against your own brain. And you're inviting the dark side of human nature, envy, sabotage, and the evil eye, right into your sanctuary. Let's look at the biology first. This is the trap of the premature sense of completeness. When you tell someone your goal, "I'm going to lose 50 pounds," your brain releases a specific chemical cocktail. It gives you a hit of dopamine, the pleasure hormone. The brain is easily tricked. It cannot distinguish between the satisfaction of doing the work and the satisfaction of talking about the work. When you tell people your plan and they applaud you, your brain registers that applause as a reward. It thinks, "Good job, we did it." You feel satisfied. The tension, the hunger, the anxiety that drives you to actually wake up at 5 a.m. and run, it dissipates. You talked your energy away. You tricked your mind into thinking the race was already run. And the next morning, when the alarm goes off, you hit snooze. Why? Because you already got the reward last night at the dinner table. But the danger inside your own head is nothing compared to the danger outside of it. Let's talk about the people around you. This is where it gets dark. This is where we have to confront a truth about human nature that most people are too polite to admit. Not everyone wants you to win. In fact, very few people want you to win. And the people who want you to fail the most are often the ones currently standing right next to you. This is not because they are evil in the movie villain sense. It is because of a psychological concept called status anxiety. Your friends, your family, your peers, they have a mental model of who you are. You fit into a box. You are the guy who works in IT, or the girl who is always single, or the friend who is fun but broke. This box makes them feel safe. It confirms their worldview. It makes them feel like they understand how the world works. When you announce a massive plan, a plan to get rich, to get fit, to leave the town, you are threatening to break that box. You are holding up a mirror to their mediocrity. If you succeed, it proves that they could have succeeded too, but they were too lazy or too scared to try. Your success becomes their failure. Your rise becomes their fall. So, subconsciously, they begin to sabotage you. It is subtle. It is terrifyingly subtle. They don't say, "I hope you fail." No, that would be too obvious. Instead, they use concern. "Are you sure that's a good time to start a business? The economy is really bad right now." "I don't know, that diet sounds dangerous. You should have just one slice of pizza, live a little." "Why do you want to move there? It's so dangerous." They plant seeds of doubt. These seeds are watered by their own insecurity, but they grow in your mind. You start to question yourself. The energy you should be using to execute your plan is now being used to defend it. You're arguing with them in your head. You're trying to prove them wrong, and slowly the doubt takes root. The fire in your belly turns to ice. Machiavelli, the master of power, understood this centuries ago. He knew that information is the most valuable currency on earth. In warfare, you never tell the enemy where you're marching. And in life, everyone is a potential enemy until they have proven otherwise. When you reveal your plans, you are giving people the map to your destruction. You are telling them exactly where to strike to hurt you the most.
If you tell someone, "I am applying for this specific job," you have given them a weapon. Now, if you don't get the job, they know you failed. They can look at you with that pitying look that cuts deeper than a knife. They can ask, "So, what happened with that job?" just to see you squirm. You have given them the power to humiliate you. But if you move in silence, if you tell no one, if you apply for the job and don't get it, nobody knows. You carry the failure alone. You learn from it and you keep moving. Your reputation remains untouched. Your confidence remains intact. And if you do get the job, you simply show up one day with a new car, a new suit, a new life. They look at you in shock. They ask, "How did you do this?" And you just smile. That mystery creates power. People fear what they cannot understand. When you are silent, you become unpredictable. And when you are unpredictable, you are dangerous. You command respect. A person who talks about their moves is a person who seeks validation. A person who makes moves in the dark is a person who seeks dominion. Think about the most powerful forces in nature. They are silent. The roots of a tree grow in the dark, deep underground, for years before the tree ever touches the sky. An earthquake builds pressure silently for decades before it shakes the earth. A predator does not roar before it hunts. It stalks in absolute silence until it is too late for the prey to react. You must become the predator. You must become the root. There is a spiritual cost to oversharing as well. Call it the evil eye. Call it jinxing it. Call it negative energy. Every culture in human history has a name for it. It is the idea that the jealous gaze of others can physically rot your success. When you parade your happiness or your potential success in front of people who are starving for it, you are inviting a curse. You are creating an energetic imbalance. Imagine your goal is a fragile flame. It is just a spark. You are trying to nurture it into a bonfire. When you expose that spark to the wind of other people's opinions, judgments, and doubts, you are blowing it out. You need to cup your hands around it. You need to protect it. You need to let it burn in the vacuum of your own soul until it is so hot, so bright, and so powerful that even a storm couldn't put it out. Only then do you reveal it. But living this way, living in ghost mode, is painful. We must acknowledge the human emotion here. It is lonely. It is incredibly lonely to carry a massive dream and have nobody to share it with. You will want to vent. You will want to brag. You will want a shoulder to cry on when it gets hard. You must resist. You must find a way to transmute that loneliness into strength. You have to become your own best friend, your own counselor, your own audience. You have to look in the mirror and get your validation from the reflection, not from the likes on a post or the nod of a friend. This builds a callus on your mind. It makes you tough. When you can suffer in silence, you can conquer in public. There is a specific type of psychological warfare you can use called strategic ambiguity. When people ask you what you are up to, you never lie, but you never tell the full truth. You give them a fog. What are you working on these days? Just staying busy, trying a few new things. Are you seeing anyone? I'm focusing on myself right now. You give them nothing to grab onto. This frustrates them. It makes them obsess over you. They fill in the blanks with their own imagination, and usually their imagination makes you seem far more important and successful than you might actually be in that moment. You are controlling the narrative by refusing to write it for them. Let's go deeper into the crabs in a bucket mentality. If you put one crab in a bucket, it can easily crawl out.
But if you put 10 crabs in a bucket, whenever one tries to climb up, the others will reach up, grab its legs, and pull it back down. They will literally tear it apart rather than let it escape. Your social circle is the bucket. Your city is the bucket. When you start working on your escape plan, your business, your fitness, your education, you are the crab climbing the wall. If you announce, "I am leaving the bucket," the other crabs will panic. They will clamp down. They will use emotional blackmail. "Oh, so you think you're better than us now? You've changed. You don't have time for us anymore." They are trying to drag you back down to the bottom where they feel safe. The only way to escape the bucket is to climb silently. Don't tell them you are climbing. Act like you are still one of them. Act like you are still at the bottom. Smile, nod, complain about the weather with them. But every night, in the dark, pull yourself up another inch, and one day you will simply be gone. You will have vaulted over the rim of the bucket, and they will still be down there fighting over scraps, wondering where you went.
This requires a split personality. You must be one person to the world, normal, average, predictable, and another person in the shadows, ruthless, disciplined, extraordinary. This is the dichotomy of the spy. The most effective spies are the ones who look like boring accountants. They don't look like James Bond. They blend in. They disappear. You must learn to disappear in plain sight. Consider the law of least effort. When you talk, you burn energy. When you argue, you burn energy. When you explain yourself, you burn energy. You have a limited supply of mental energy each day. Every unit of energy you spend trying to convince someone that your plan will work is a unit of energy you are not spending on making the plan work. Results explain themselves. Results don't need a voice. A Lamborghini doesn't need to tell you it's fast. A muscular body doesn't need to tell you it's strong. The result screams so loud that words become unnecessary. Your goal should be to reach a point where your existence creates cognitive dissonance in others. You want them to look at you and not understand how you got there. That confusion is your shield. If they don't know how you did it, they can't copy you, and they can't stop you. So, how do you implement this right now? How do you switch to dark mode? First, you go on an information fast. For the next 30 days, tell nobody anything about your long-term goals. If you are writing a book, don't tell your mother. If you are starting a YouTube channel, don't post the link on your personal Facebook. If you are investing money, don't talk about the market at lunch. Feel the urge rising in your throat. Feel the burning desire to say, "Guess what I did?" and swallow it. Take that fire and shove it back down into your gut. Let it burn you. Let it make you angry. Use that aggression to work harder. When you deny yourself the cheap release of talking, you build pressure. That pressure is what turns coal into diamonds. Second, audit your circle. Look at the people around you. Who asks you questions because they care, and who asks questions because they are gathering intelligence? Who is happy when you win, and who gets quiet? You don't need to confront them. You don't need to create drama. Just categorize them, civilian or ally. Most people are civilians. They don't have the clearance level to know your classified operations. Treat them with kindness, but give them nothing. Third, embrace the shadow. In Jungian psychology, the shadow is the dark, hidden part of your personality. It contains your aggression, your desire for power, your selfishness. Society tells you to hide this, but the shadow is where your drive comes from. The shadow doesn't want to talk. The shadow wants to hunt. Connect with that part of yourself that wants to dominate the world, not be friends with it. There's a terrifying freedom in being unknown.
When nobody knows what you are doing, nobody can tell you you are doing it wrong. You are free from the expectations of others. You can fail and nobody will know. You can change direction and nobody will judge. You are the captain of a ghost ship sailing through the fog. One day the fog will lift. One day you will arrive at the destination. And when you step off the boat, people will flock to you. They will say, "I always knew you were special." They will say, "I always believed in you." You will smile. You will shake their hands. You will accept their praise. But deep down, in the silence of your own heart, you will know the truth. You will know that they didn't believe. You will know that you walked through the valley of the shadow of death alone, and that knowledge will be your crown. So, zip your lip, lock your phone, close the door. The world doesn't need your words, it needs your work. Let them underestimate you. Let them think you are doing nothing. Let them think you are lost. And while they're busy talking, you will be busy building an empire that will silence them forever. Trust no one. Reveal nothing. Build everything.